Morning, everybody. I'm Senator Michael Kroon. I have the privilege of representing Blaine, Ham Lake, Columbus, and Lexington. And I'm here to talk about the lack of transparency in the Minnesota Attorney General's office. Before 2022, data that was considered public and routinely produced to the public for over 40 years by multiple attorneys general was no longer turned over by the Attorney General's office. After our current Attorney General refused to produce those documents that had been previously and routinely turned over, the matter was litigated, and the Minnesota Supreme Court, in a 4-3 decision, held that our current statute, as it is currently worded, didn't clearly require the production of those documents. My bill, which is Senate File 730, makes our Data Practices Act statute clear that the Attorney General needs to produce those documents, as that office had been doing for over 40 years. Now the Attorney General is routinely denying large swaths of data, even regarding policy matters, and even if they don't contain any information on individuals. This has sweeping implications that make our government less transparent. And as it relates to fraud, the Attorney General's decision to not be transparent with these documents has severely limited the public's access to information on fraud cases being investigated, prosecuted, or settled. I think it's imperative that the public has access to close investigation files relating to fraud inquiries. As things stand, we literally will not have any idea what kind of fraud has been occurring and reported, and whether this Attorney General has decided to sweep it under the rug. The purpose of our Data Practices Act is to protect the right of the public to know what their government is doing. And we need to make sure that this applies to the Attorney General's office. This should not be a partisan issue. Good policy is good policy, regardless of the individual that currently holds the Attorney General's office. And I'm trying to restore the status quo back to sunlight and transparency, which will help in our efforts to prevent fraud. Thanks.